back to another episode of Crystal Fishing. Today, we are making some poor choices because I like spearfishing. We got Jerry, we're on the Tonics boat, and I'm filming the intro with the GoPro. I wonder if the audio is actually working. But, yeah, we just got done spearfishing a little bit. We're going to wait out the storm. We're heading to the next spot. We really want to shoot some jacks today. We got to wait for the storm to pass. We're going to go do it. All right, we're going to get after it and hunker down for this storm.
Welcome back underwater, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Crystal Hook Fishing. It's been a couple months since I posted. I've been pretty busy, but yeah, we're back. I'm still posting content from the summer. I still have content from the summer that I have not posted, but I also have stuff from when I went back for gag season, so the gag episodes are going to be coming out soon. And for, I'm headed home in a few days to film some content over Thanksgiving break. And then the winter break stuff will roll out. We got some Keys trips in the works. So, yeah, I'm really excited for the next few months of content. I just have been pretty busy with college life and been unable to post as much as I wanted to. You'll see the bottom here is just covered in life. Just all these hogs and mangoes and everything. Nothing like too big. Swimming around, and what do I see but nice Spanish mackerel on my way down. Love these things. Great for sushi. Pew. Now, these guys are super soft, so I had a high shot. So I'm playing this in ×2 speed because the fight was a bit long because I was trying to baby it to make sure it doesn't tear out because of how soft their flesh is. So I'm just kind of babying it, letting it take line when it needs to, and just pulling it up. Just as it tires itself out, you kind of see how high that shot is. I just do not want it to tear out. So I'm just giving it the absolute most gentle fight that I can until I can grab it by the tail. Almost had it there. And I get it right here. And then the fish is mine. I'm able to brain it and put it on my shooting line. Fortunately, right after this, you can see the storm started. So we kind of just hunkered down in the boat for a bit until we could get back. We switched spots, went over to the tanks, and we didn't have a trolling motor, so we had to anchor by the tanks, but it was a good thing that it was clear. So they sent me down with Evan's pole spear, and you'll see a hogfish right there. That hogfish and the one that was with it, those are both legal fish, but I was looking for something else. I didn't want to deal with like a borderline hogfish. I was just looking around to see if there were any big mangroves. I'd already checked the top of the tank and I already checked under it. So the last place was to look in this kind of front area. And lo and behold, there's a mangrove just sitting there giving me the perfect shot. So I sent it. Kind of gets himself wrapped around this rope here, which is kind of annoying. So I have to go back down, untangle him. Unwrap him from this thing. There's a free anchor down there that I didn't even notice was there. Once I get him unwrapped, I can head up to the surface with him. Get my second fish of the day.
But they were female, so I didn't shoot them.
I'm talking about this hogfish. So this next dive, I felt so like European doing this. Is getting down, and this spot is super pressured, especially at this time of year when everybody's out diving, the weather's nice, and it's super clear. So the fish can see you from a mile away, and they're not giving you anything. So this whole time I was on this spot, I was just sitting there, staying down for as long as possible, and just like slowly crawling along, trying to see if I could find any mangroves who were dumb enough to stay out amongst the structure. But obviously, nothing's kind of biting. But I'm sitting around, and I get surprised by a school of porgy. And I love the taste of porgy, so I was like, you know what, I'm taking one. Get a perfect shot right in its face. Porgy looked a little bit like Dentex, so I felt like I was hunting Dentex in the Mediterranean. I was not, in fact, hunting Dentex, and it was a small little porgy. But it tasted good nevertheless. I make them whole. Just scale them, putting them in the oven with olive oil and thyme, and just delicious. Little cherry tomatoes, cut them in half, put them on there. Awesome. So we moved away from that spot. We were just getting to this new spot. I'm literally like sitting here adjusting the anchor, making sure it'll be not impossible to get the chain unwrapped when we decide to leave. And I start looking around. You'll notice the angle of my camera is a little downwards. It isn't like this the whole day, but it is kind of slightly annoying for part of it. But I look up and I just see like a bunch of really nice mangoes everywhere. And I pull the trigger on one. A couple shots today are kind of out of frame like that, but for the most part the video is still, like, you can see the whole fish. And these little remora start like playing with it. And I was kind of curious to see how much the remora would follow me around all day. And they hounded me. They were on me like the entire time. At one point one of them tried to attach to my leg. It's pretty cool. So just kind of playing with the remora, getting my mango back up. You'll see the shot was a little bit high, or at least I thought it was. It ended up being not terrible, so I was just playing it safe. Get the knife in its brain, gut it, bleed it, get my first mango, or second mango of the day. Forgot about the tank one. See, there's remora just eating the guts. That's why they're following me around. So I ended up just putting all the fish on my shooting line for a while, and you'll see how that ends up going. But I drop back down, literally like right where I shot the first one. I have barely gone through this reef. Have not looked too much. You see that hogfish there? It's not legal, but it's pretty. And I'm looking around, and I see another really nice mango. I start kind of following it, hoping it'll give me a shot because it's swimming away from me. Looking around, I stay in this hole just waiting for it to turn, and then it gives me that shot. I just plug it. And you'll see it like barely turned. I wish the camera had picked it up, but it had barely turned. So the shaft actually went in the gill plate and out the mouth, which was a weird little shot, but it ended up getting the job done. So yes, first thing I do when I get the fish is brain, bleed, gut. Keeps the meat quality. Just to give you all an idea, some of the fish from today, because of the brain, bleed, gut, vacuum seal, freeze method, I ate them yesterday. Just took the vacuum seal bags, thawed them out in the sink with water, and had some mangrove snapper, even though I'm all the way up north for college. This one's just boop. Top down shot. You saw that one in the intro. Not my best work. It kind of goes into the fillet, but this was the biggest mangrove from up until this point. So I was excited, and so I took the shot kind of quickly. It's a little bit in its gut, which is, you know, kind of good, kind of bad, right? It's definitely injured, so it's not going to be fighting super duper hard, but also the liability that it tears out. You can literally see the remora eating the guts while I'm holding onto the mango. Grab it, brain it, and then that's my fish. Got a nice little stringer started to go. And at this point I'm like, okay, I should probably put him back on the boat. Alright, so I hop right back in the water, take another dive down. I had seen this like ledge that went out off into one direction, so I was planning on diving down and following it all the way forward. As you can kind of see, I'm facing like parallel to the ledge, and I was just going to crawl along. Unfortunately, my camera is pointed down, but I'm looking into this ledge as I'm working away into it, and I look up, and I just see a massive hogfish. I was like, all right, bye. I wish I had it in frame when I pulled the trigger. This is a big hogfish. I had a good shot on it. And I was just so excited. We were in like 18 feet of water. And to get a hogfish this big was pretty awesome. I think it was like to fork 22 inches fork length. Yeah, it was a grown one. Yeah. Once again, got it and everything. I ended up actually printing that fish. Look at those. That's a grown hog.
And these are big mangoes. Yeah. How's the fishing, Jerry?
Amazing. Great day out here.
Yeah. All right, my camera battery died, but so far I'm doing pretty good on these big ones. Nice.
So we ended up switching spots, start diving down. It looks really similar to the last one. It's just a ton of bait. Just everything is alive, and the coral looks awesome. There's rocks everywhere. It's super shallow. I've got my light because I was expecting to look into ledges, but as soon as I get down, I see a really nice mangrove. I just plug him. He races into this ledge, and I end up having to try to yank him out. Big old dust cloud as he's in there. And he beats himself up in there. You'll see him in a second. Boom. It's all beat up, scales out. Looks like a cubera with all the scales tearing out. Get the brain bleed. Got him. So this next dive, I'm going down with a pole spear. We're at a different area of the spot with less ledge and more just like kind of just nice bottom, but there's less places to hide. And what that means, for some reason, is hogfish. The hogfish really like the rocky but more flat bottom where it's not really super cavey, but it's just got all these little places where the little crabs and crustaceans hang out, and they just pick those spots apart. They run along the ledges, and they'll sit there. You don't find many grouper at these spots, but you'll find little mangroves and big hogs. So we were hanging out around here looking for those hogs. And I had a pole spear because I was just, Bahamas practicing, I guess. And this is Evans. I normally rock the Predator, but I see a nice hog right there. Plug it. So it didn't deploy, which is fine because I spined it. So I just grabbed it, brought it up. For those of you haters that think it's not legal, there's me measuring it.
Over. There's 12, 13, 14.
She's legal, barely. So, come back down with this pole spear. It's already not deployed once, which is not fantastic. So I'm kind of being wary of it, I guess. Just looking around, and I see a real nice one. So I kind of get ready to shoot. And, of course, it doesn't deploy again. But I've kind of maimed it, so I chase it down. Wait till I can see it again, but it turns out he kind of got the slip on me. He went out the back way. So I follow that back exit for a little bit, and there he is. He tried to go out the back entrance, and I nailed him again, but it didn't deploy. So I had an injured fish down there somewhere, and I looked for him for a while, but I couldn't find him, so I just went back to diving. And on this dive, you'll see I'm like hunting, like normal hunting. I still kind of mad about the fish because I don't like injuring fish and leaving them down. So I'm being super selective. I'm like basically waiting for something to get right in my face. I'm kind of annoyed with the pole spear, and I'm not like giving up on it. I'm just frustrated. And I look around, I see a nice hog right there, but I'm like, no, dude, I need it to be right in my face. And then I turn back, and of course it is right in my face, and it spooks. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I see basically a stoned fish floating around. I was like, oh, that must be, I guess, the one I shot earlier. So you'll see me do that in a second right here. There it is. And I see this fish just like way up off the bottom, kind of flailing, so I stab it. And this time it still doesn't deploy, but this time I get it, and it's got the 2 spear holes from when I hit it before.
What was that?
So,
Is that thing swimming upside down?
this
That's
f***ing fish, I shot it earlier, and the slip tip didn't engage, just like it didn't engage just now.
Yeah, there it was. So, next dive, headed down. I have a gun now. I'm not playing these games with the pole spear. At a different spot. And this time, I'm looking for whatever. Hogfish, mangoes, there's a little bit more chunky bottom, so there are nicer mangroves around here. But because all the mangroves that we shot this day were like 20 plus inches, I'm being really selective. So I'm down. None of the mangroves are super appetizing, but I see a pretty decent hog. So it catches my attention. I line up. And I shoot. Nice little hoggy hog. Get down another dive. This spot is different. You can see the clarity's a little worse. It's a little deeper too. I think now we're in like 30, 35 feet. And he's got these big boulders that the mangroves love hanging out on. You see the red coral. There's much less like of that grassy stuff that you can kind of hold on to on the bottom. Instead, it's this red coral, and you'll look around, there's just these big kind of depressions where the mangroves can sit, and there's got several cave entrances in each of them, and it's perfect mango spot. Not really for grouper, because the entrances, the caves are really small, but these mangroves just love it. So I'm sitting out in front of the entrance to a cave, letting the mangoes get used to me, and as soon as they come out enough, just seeing if I can get a shot. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just creeping up, hiding behind this ledge entrance now and looking towards the next one. And when I look, I see a really nice mangrove, so I line up, pull the trigger. I don't know how I got this shot on it. It went under and through its head. But this was a really nice mango. I think this was my best of the day. Still on this spot that's a little deeper, dropping down. And this time I'm kind of on the edge of the reef, because before I was like in it and hiding in those little holes that are inside of it. But this time I was like, I'm gonna sit on the outside and point my gun towards the end and see if there's anything that's like headed along the edge. So I start heading in because I see there's like nothing really on the edge. And I'm crawling in, and I get to another one of these divots, and I decide that I'm gonna like hide behind this rock because there's a nice little open area with mangoes. And as soon as I do, this guy comes out and gives me a shot. So I just head up to the surface. Right while I was doing this, Jerry had shot a cobia, and it was getting eaten by a 14-foot tiger shark. I was just kind of hanging out with my mango, pulling it up. If I had known there was a tiger shark, I wouldn't have been this slow about it. But, you know, live and learn. Yeah, I'm just getting him up. Kind of a bad shot in the gut. Had a few of those today. And I end up securing the fish. Alright, we made it to the last dive of the day. A bit of a longer video. That's just because we shot a bunch of fish, and it wasn't really enough to break it up into 2 videos, but it was definitely enough for a good longer video, so it was my return video. If you made it this far, good job. You're among like maybe 15% of my subscribers or people who watch my videos who actually get to the end. I wish I could give you a gold star. Yeah, I'm just hunting the same spot, doing the same things, hiding behind these boulders, laying in these cracks, and another mango just gives me an opportunity. You can see the size of these divots though. And there he is, big guy. Boom. That's all I got for the day. Hope you enjoyed. Watching me agonizingly pull up this fish.
Alright, we're finally done. Had a pretty good day. It's like 6. We've got like an hour ride in, and then we gotta do all the filleting and shit. So, yeah. See you guys when we get back to the ramp. Take a bunch of pictures of all these fish.
We got a lot of fish today. There's my big hog and there's my mangoes. Whatever, it's off the boat. I'm gonna fillet these guys.